Hello. 3 weeks in, and I thought I'd give you a bit of an update as to where we're at with the stimulus packages and what's available to you for individuals more so who may have lost their job, reduced their hours due to COVID-19. I'm putting my financial planner's hat on just to give you some factual general information as to what opportunities there are through the government stimulus packages, whether it be state or federal. Just an update, things are moving quickly and rapidly in this space and you really need to be on top of it. So I'm giving you some tips and some tools today to help you determine what's right for you. So if you've lost your job, or you're a small business and your income has been reduced, affected because of the pandemic. Even if you're a uni student who's had a casual job and you've lost your job or lost hours, I would highly recommend that you log on to Centrelink, which is now called Services Australia, to actually register your intent. So what does that mean? I've had a few clients this week ring who have been in this situation, and what they need to do is look at getting a MyGov account. So online, and on the screen you'll see a website link to how to set everything up, give you instructions and directions on how to do that. But you first need a MyGov account, and from there you can connect to any government department, namely Centrelink or Australian Tax Office. From there, you need to register your intent for a job seeker or parenting a payment. So anyone in your family who has been affected, whether it be a reduction in hours, you've been made redundant, stood down. Being stood down, we're not 100% sure what the benefits will be, but my recommendation is to register no matter what, whether it be you, your spouse, your adult children living in your household, anyone to register. Once you've registered, Centrelink Services Australia will contact you and provide you with instructions on what to do. Now, they've relaxed a lot of the rules, they're expediting the processes, but you will not get paid immediately. So don't think once you've registered you're going to get it straight away. So you need to make sure you've got some reserves or a backup plan to enable you to keep your household running. So from this point of view, you need to make sure that you register as soon as possible, because it's from that date of registration that your entitlements, if you are entitled, will start. So the coronavirus supplement is an extra $550 on top of what they used to call unemployment benefits. They are now calling it a job seeker payment. So ultimately, you could possibly get around about just over $1,000 a fortnight on this. And even if you have a partner who is earning, still register. As I said, the terms and conditions with this package has changed. They've reduced the assets and income testing. So you just don't know. So my recommendation is to check it out. So on the screen you can see that there's some links as to how to contact Centrelink, but I'd also register with the ATO as well. State government is also providing a stimulus. Again, you need a MyGov account and to be registered for the job seeker payment before you can access this payment, and it will be paid through the Centrelink or the Services Australia system. So the state government in South Australia are giving a $500 payment to a cost of living, and also eligible homeowners or even tenants, they're giving an extra payment as well. For public servants, they can access their entitlements, their annual leave and long service leave entitlement, as a cash payment if they wanted to as well. So the next opportunity is accessing your super. Now there's some terms and conditions around this, and there's a website link on the page for you to determine if you're eligible to access your super. The bonus or the supplement is $10,000 before the 30th of June and $10,000 after the 1st of July through accessing funds within your superannuation. This must be done through your MyGov account that is linked with the ATO. One of the requirements is that you must be on Centrelink benefits to be eligible to be able to access superannuation supplement. And of course there's terms and conditions associated. If you haven't lost your job, if you're a self-employed person, and so again I'd recommend that you look on this website to determine if you are eligible. If not, happy to have a chat with anyone who's wanting more information around this package. The issue that, I'm wearing my financial planner's hat, the issue of accessing superannuation, and because the share market has dropped considerably, the value of the share market has dropped considerably, and depending on what type of superannuation fund you have, if it's a retail fund, you are, the value of your super is recorded at every second of every business day through the ASX and the units that you hold within that superannuation fund. If you have an industry fund, it's a bit of a mixed bag because they have some underlying investments that aren't measured in the same method. So, how do you determine what's right for you? Everyone is different, cannot provide you with advice, need to talk to you face to face via Zoom or a phone call that can enable you to determine which is the right opportunity for you. And happy to have that chat with my clients. As the previous webinar we had, we offered clients a half an hour appointment free of charge to determine whether they are affected or not by COVID-19, what opportunities there are. That still stands. And the final thing about superannuation is that the talk that I've heard from economists is that it's going to be a swift recovery once we get over this hump. So once the pandemic is controlled, things start to go back to normal. We don't know what that's going to look like, but they anticipate 12 to 18 months before the share market will start to recover. So we'll keep you posted on that. The other thing that's very important is insurances through your superannuation or insurance policies for personal insurance that you have, whether it be life insurance, total and permanent disablement insurance known as TPD, trauma or critical illness, or income protection. Now there's been some media hype around COVID-19 and the terms and conditions of a policy. It's like every insurance policy, you pay for what you get. So if the terms and conditions in an insurance policy state that it doesn't cover for a pandemic, and COVID-19 has been labelled a pandemic, then if you were to pass away or become unable to work because you've contracted the virus, you may not be able to access your insurance. So again, it's worthwhile having the chat to determine whether your insurance will pay out in the event that you contracted or someone in your family contracted the disease and has insurances. The other point is, which happened through the GFC, is a lot of people who had insurances outside of super because of loss of income, redundancies, etc., are looking at ways of reducing their costs. Can I recommend that you talk to me first? At the moment, many of those insurance companies have learnt through the GFC that they're giving they're offering holidays on premiums to policyholders, and your insurance premium could be eligible for a holiday payment while we're going through this pandemic. So rather than cut the insurances, because once you've cut and you want to go back to it later, you're going to be older, it's naturally going to be more expensive. Also, your medical history may have changed in that time. You may not get the same terms and conditions that you've currently got with your current insurance policy. And finally, if you've come back from overseas and you've had to self-isolate for 2 weeks or more, you've contracted the virus and been put in self-isolation, depending on the terms and conditions of your policy, if you have an income protection policy that has a wait period of, say, 7 days or 14 days, and you're without work because of the virus, not because your employer has stood you down, but because you've been specifically affected by the virus, you could have a claim. So please reach out to us so that we can support you no matter what. On the screen there's some links to some websites. We're going to put these links in the descriptions below so you can access them directly. The first is business.gov.au, which has its own COVID ID link on the first page, and for Centrelink, which is Services Australia, and ATO, if you type in the search engine COVID-19, it has its own landing pages, which you can then find out all the information you need to help support you in whatever package you feel is relevant. Again, I strongly recommend you take up our half-an-hour conversation to determine what you are eligible for to streamline your research. So we're here to support you, to help you, whatever your circumstances are. This is just general information to start you off, because your situation is unique, and I'm here and we're here, the team of Grevin & Co. are here to help and support you. All the best, and we'll be in contact soon. Thank you.